Welcome to the second part of today's class, day 2. We're still on day 2. So we'll be looking at the second screen design right now. So we already designed the first screen, this particular screen in the previous video. So if you're not checked that out, you should check it out. So this particular video will be discussing this particular screen, the second screen right here. Okay, the login screen for this particular onboarding session. Okay, so quite simple also. So remember we created a frame previously. So let's create another frame right now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So another thing, I think instead of me having to create a new frame, let's make it easy because you want to make your work easier. So instead of having to create a new frame from scratch, and then since we need a couple of elements in this particular design from the first screen, you can see there's some similarities. And I think the way we designed the first part was that we broke down the elements in the design into smaller parts for us to know what we're going to be needing. So in this screen, what do we need? We need the status bar. We already have that in the first screen. We need the logo. We have that in the first screen. In fact, in the same position. We need a couple of texts. Yeah, we have a couple of texts. It might probably not see the same size, or at least we have a couple of texts. And then we need a button. We have the button already here. We need a couple of other social media icons here. So let's just duplicate the first screen, and then we can rename it and then keep what we need and discard what we don't need. That's free, right? Good, makes our work easier. So just click on the screen 1 and then Control C, Control V. It duplicates by itself. Now, what do we need and what we don't need? So we don't need the illustration. Click on that and press delete on your keyboard. Gone. This text, I don't need a text as big as this. I don't think so. The size of this is 16. I think I can just type that up. So I don't need this one. Delete it. Okay. The button, I need all of the buttons. I need that button. I just keep it for now. So let me just drag it down a bit because I don't need it. I don't need it right now. Just drag it down a bit. Now, so for the first part, now we already have, we have 1, we have 2. For the elements we have on the design, 2 designed right now. We have the status bar, we have the logo, we have this header here, we have this smaller text, more like a placeholder now, or like a label text, I'm not sure. And we have this form field. So this is the first form field for the email, second form field for the password, and then importing a couple of social media icons and then another text. Okay, so let's get into it. We already have the status bar and the logo from the first screen, so we can just get into other parts. So let's type out login right now. So I'm using the same text. Since it's the same size, just press T on your keyboard, remember? And press login. I'll change the text to align to the left, right? In case you need to change what we have, right? So, and then I'm using a grid, but I didn't use a grid here. I think I should add that right now to make your work look more professional. So I didn't initially mention it because of I was trying not to make the whole thing cumbersome for the first video, but I think I can mention it right now. So you notice that there's a grid here on the initial designs I did. You can see that the designs are aligned to that grid. Okay, as much as possible, I make sure the designs are aligned to the grid. Now makes your work look neater, and then you can follow something in hierarchy, and then your designs can look more professional. Okay, so don't worry, it's quite easy to create. So just clicking on our screen right now, on screen 2, you see this button called layer. This panel, I mean, labeled as layers grid. Okay, we'll click on that. Then automatically you see something like this, but we don't want a grid, we want columns. So click on this icon right here. Come to this top here. On the list, you see grid, you see columns, you see rows. I want to use columns. So columns, and then on the count, I want just 4 of the grid. So click on 4, and then leave the color. Okay. So for the margin, it's currently on 0. So that means this margin at the edge. Let me zoom in a bit. This margin right now, there's no margin right now, but definitely we need a margin. So are we using 24 for that? Click on 24. Then for the gutter, that's it, the space between the grid, this space right here. The margin is the one at the utmost part, but at the left and the right. Okay. And then for in between the grid, it's called the gutter. So right now it's on 20, I want it to be 16. So type 16. Then you're done. Okay, that's basically what you're doing. So that right now you have a grid that you can work with. Okay. So now I think let's do the button first. So we already know the text for the buttons get me in. That is very easy. And since we already have the button designed, we can make it easier for us to do. Okay. So just by clicking on the button and then dragging it towards the left, you can see the red appears. You can see that red appears. Okay. And then the same thing at the right. But don't worry, once it's inside the frame, it will align the text by itself. compared to if you're using a rectangle. Okay, so and then change the text to okay, so if you're not seeing the grid, just press Shift and G on your keyboard. Sorry, that's a mistake. I'm still typing text right now. So press Shift and G on your keyboard. Shift G on your keyboard. On and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Okay, good. So type this to get me in. Good. So exclamation mark. Good. So I just want to get that out of the way. So once I need it, I can bring it up. All right. So let's bring back the grid to make sure our text is aligned. Somewhere around here should be okay. Let me see the distance between the text and the. It's about 60. Yeah, you can set it up here. You can see this line that goes up. Once it reaches this bottom here, it's 60. So this is the same height. Sorry, dimension. Right now it's about 42. So let's go down a bit, like twice. 62 up a bit. So I explained moving up and down in the first video, so check that out. Okay, so right now we have the same dimension. Good. So the next thing I want to do is the next text. So the next text is welcome back. Okay, we're still using Poppins. Sorry, mistake. We're still using Poppins as a font name. We are using the font style. Okay, for the font style now is you're using regular, and the font size is 14. So let's do that right now. Okay, so text, I'll just copy this, just use it. So we change this to regular, change this to 14, change this to auto. Good. So the text will be welcome back. Good. So the space between the welcome back and the login text, let's check this. About 4, yeah, 4. So right now what do we have? About 1, so 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now you can notice that the color for the text are different. Just for some of the hierarchy, not just in size around. I'm sure I explained this yesterday when talking about consistency and then visual hierarchy. So you don't just have hierarchy in just size alone. You also have hierarchy in color. So let's do that right now. So the color is different. So that makes the login text in quotes much more emphasized. And this one is just like supporting text, so it doesn't have to be that big. Okay. So the font color used right now is 848484. So 84 3 times. So let's have the same thing for our own design. Okay, so we already have the same text size, just for us to change the color. Okay, so I'll be changing this to 8484. 84. Good. So we have that already. Now for the form fields, now let's have the form fields one after the other. So you have email for the email. So let's do that. So first thing you want to create is let's start with the text itself. 16 medium. Okay, let's have that. Let's duplicate this text for now. We check the space later on. Changes to, so you can duplicate by Ctrl C V, or you can just press Alt on your keyboard and then drag it out. Okay, so how do I do that? Alt on my keyboard, drag it out. My mouse, very simple. Alt, drag. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So email, change that to medium, 16, and then change back to the previous color for the black we're using. So 0B, 0B, and then paste that here on that field. Okay, on that field. And then we have the same color. Good. So we already have the form field input label for the first one. That's email. Let's draw the form field itself now, the bar where you can fill in your details. So enter your email, this placeholder. Okay, so the dimensions for this particular form field input is 342 by 50. So let's do that. So and then the font color. All right, so to draw the form field input bar, we have 342 by 50, and the font color is F4 3 times. Okay, let's do that same thing. All right, frame again. Yeah, using frame. Draw out your frame. The size 342 by, is it 50 now? I'm not sure. Let me check. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's bring in our grid again to be sure perfectly. You can see it's aligned to the yeah, perfect. Good. I want to confirm the size. Yeah, 50. Okay. So I'm back. So the color field, add a field, F4 paste. Good. Hide the layout grid. Now let's bring in a text. So I just bring in this, duplicate it into the frame, and then this will be 14. This should be 14. Medium should be regular, I guess, I'm not wrong. And then the font color, let me confirm that. Yes, let's see, regular 14. And the font color B2, just copy that. And just type it by yourself, B2 3 times. All right, and yeah, good. So I've aligned that to the vertical centers. So the space between, I use the space between this edge here to this is about, okay, hold on, it's about 16. So just one step, and I done. Yeah, 16 that way. Okay, so now it's a bit rounded. You look at the edges at the top here, you can see it's a bit rounded. So I used, for the corner radius, I use 8 for that. So let's add that. Right now it's on default value, which is 0. Okay, you can see right now it's on 0. So when I click on 8, it becomes rounded. Good. So nothing serious, just makes our design look better. So the placeholder says enter your email, right? And I think we're done on that. Well, just let me confirm the space so I can just duplicate the entire thing. I just type the other one, makes it easier for me. So I'm going to type the whole thing for this one from scratch. So just use the same parameters for the same thing. So the distance between the button, sorry, and the form field and the placeholder, sorry, the label at the top is 8. Okay, 8. So let's have the same thing. So you can just duplicate the entire thing. So right now, what do we have? Space between this is 9. Okay, 9. So just move it up a bit. Yeah, good. So now I want to frame this entire selection. So both this and this, I want to make them single body. So I can move them around anytime I want. So I'm just going to align from the left. So I'm just dragging from the, whether the left or the right, whichever one. Just want to cover this guy's one. You can see it is covering the email layer and the frame layer at the top here. Just those 2 layers. Okay. So and then I just press right click and I press frame selection. Okay, frame selection. Right now it's a single frame. So I just type this as email field so I can find it easily whenever I need it. Okay. So once I already have the email field, let's create another field for password like we have it here. All right. Good. So clicking on this, Control C, Control V, I cannot drag that down. Okay, the space is about 20. I'll check that later. Let's just have the design first, and you can adjust the settings later on. So password, just double click once you're done. What's that? Yeah, password. Enter your password. Good. I think we're practically done with that right now. Yeah. So the only thing we're going to be adding is this vector, this closed icon. Okay, I shared that also part of the resources you have. Right. So let's bring that in right now. So clicking on the frame for the field, I can bring in my icon. So the dimensions I use for this icon here is the icon right now is 16 in width. Okay, and the other one must be constraint to proportion. Okay, let's bring that. Let's be out right now. Back to our own screen. Good. And closed icon, bring that in to the design. Good. So right now it's very big. We just click on constraint proportion and then change this to 16, the width to 16, and we are good. Okay, so then okay, then the stroke. Okay, I think I made a mistake, right? That'll be a challenge for you guys. I made a mistake. So while exporting, I exported at a very high what's it called now? Okay, it's still, I think there's still it's a very high what's it called? Very high. Okay, still redeemable. So right now it's on 2, so change it from 2 to 1.4. So it's because it's very bold right now. Yeah. So I was worried that I might have caused a bit of problem right now because I had to export to SVG for you guys. Okay, so yeah, you're almost close. Just try to align it to. Okay, so let's have it about 16. Yeah, so this should be 16. Yeah. Yeah. So you want the space between the closed icon and the edge to be 16. So right now I'm 14, 15, 16. Okay, good. So we're done with that. So we have our enter email, enter password. What else do you have? Now, bottom we created, you have okay, before that you have forgot password. So the same size we use for enter password was the same size you're going to use. So just the color is different. Only the color is different for that. So let me copy the color right now. That's F sorry 5E for the color. Right. So, drag this guy up a bit. Good. So I want to bring in this guy. Alt drag out. So I'm going to align this to the right because I don't want it to be towards the right that way. So the one typing goes to be towards the right. Just clear out these guys. Just type it about. Forgot password. Change the color. Control V. Paste. Good. So next thing, let's drag up the person a bit more. Okay. We're getting close. All right. So let's check some sizes now. So the distance between this email field and the subtext is about 40. Distance between the two email field input field is about 20. From the last input field to forgot password about 12. Let me do that before I start. So it's about 40. So the right now is about 51. 40. Good. It should be 20. Perfect. It should be about 12. Okay. It should be about 60. One. Good. So that's the silence. So other things can follow right now. Okay. So you have this guy here. This option of you want to log in with something else. So the text is about 14. Yeah, regular 14. Regular 14. So let's type that right now. Or login. Login with regular 14. Good. So the font color, what do we have? We have 5E, same thing. Let's change that. So right now it's on 00. Change that to 5E. Good. So you can now align that to the center now. Sorry. Okay. All right. So now we have a bit of lines by the side of this guy. Space is 20 between these guys. Zoom in a bit. So you can see the space between this guy and this button is holding Alt on my keyboard. We have 20. Okay, so now what I want to do is this effect whereby we have this line. So I use line for that. So flanking the left and the right of this text, we have two lines that extend. Okay, so let's do that. So using the shape tool, let me move this up a bit. Okay, so on 20 already. Come to the shape tool at the top here. All right, top here, and then select line. Okay, let me bring it up my layers guide again. So I will draw from the right. Just something that's okay. So draw from the right. Let me use the color used at the top here. B2. Okay. Back here. copy and paste. Simple. So I just copy the same line. So Control C, Control V, then I drag towards the left. Simple. So I can just highlight the same way I highlighted the other time. Highlight the whole thing. Then right click and frame the selection. Good. So now I can be sure. Just come back into the layout panel. Just going to be sure that okay, the line is actually centered for all of them. So come into the layouts panel and then press this. Good. Perfect. So let me label this as alternative login label. Right. Good. So what next do we have? We have a couple of icons. We're almost done already. Just the icons left and then the last text. We're done with this particular screen. Okay, so let's have the icons. So again, we're using frame. So I just copy the frame I use for this and then manipulate that around. All right. So copy this frame, button 1, and then what drag. All right. Okay. Good. So first off, I don't want the layer. Sorry, I don't want the fill. So click that off. I don't want the texts as well. Delete that. All right. I want a stroke. I want it to be the same color as this. So that should be. I want to check the color for that. So that should be B2B2. So come back here and paste that. So B2B2 as a color code. All right. The font width is the stroke width is okay at 1. I believe, yeah, it's okay at 1. What else do we need? Now just also bring in the icons. So I use something that's automated, but I'll show you in a minute. So first off, you can just see manually for now. So the height should be about 48, but I'll get into that. So first, let's bring in the first icon. Okay, before that, to make it easy for us, yeah, let's bring in the first icon. So the icon should be Google icon. Yeah, then drag this into the frame. Good. So the size should be about 24 pixels. You're not wrong. Yeah, it should be 24 pixels. Perfect. Good. So right now it's within the frame for this. So I will change this to icon 1 instead of button. Icon 1. Good. And then I can just align this to the horizontal and vertical centers. Good. Now at this point, at this junction, I'm using an interesting feature which is called auto layout. Okay, so I'll press auto layout right now, and that helps to give definition to what you're doing. Okay, so I don't want to get into the details of auto layouts for now, so hopefully you can get into that in another video. So currently, let me use the same settings I use at the top here. So I used 20 by 12. Okay, we have 20 by 12. Okay, so body fill or something else. I'll show you what I'm saying. So first, let me just duplicate this so you can have for the other icon. So Control C, Control V, drag that out. Then Control C, Control V again, and drag that out. So just want to change it. So now, let's imagine a case whereby you would eventually be using just 2 icons or 4 icons even. So why do you have to manipulate the icons? That's what I'm using the auto layout. I'll show you what I'm saying now. So right now we have 3 icons. Come to the right here, the left here, where you have your layers panel. You have the 3 icons: icon 3, icon 2, icon 1. Let's select everything. Holding Shift, I click. Everything's highlighted already. Okay, and then I right click right now and press frame selection. Good. Now I'll be changing this to let me rename it so I can be sure of what I'm doing. Change this to social icons. So I already know that those are the 3 guys. Now I'll be adding an auto layout to this. I'll be giving it a fixed width. Okay, let's bring in our layout guide to be sure that this aligned to this. So now I want to keep whereby all these icons fill up this entire space, regardless of the number of what I have. And for me to do that, instead of me giving each of the icons, right now they have a fixed width. You can set it up here. Okay, okay, they are okay. They have a width based on these parameters down here. I want them to be able to expand with to the frame that they are constrained inside. So let me break it down. Now currently we have three icons, okay? So now they are using the parameters for each of them. So right now they have the horizontal padding, you have the vertical padding, and you have the horizontal gap between the items. So for example, if I decide to add two icons within this particular frame, this first icon, and I press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, you can see it increases actually. You can see the size increases. And then this space between the two of them is what is highlighted as this space between the gap, horizontal gap space. So if I change this to like 2, you see they become closer. But you can see that automatically this frame is increasing by itself. If I change this to like let's say 35, you see it increases more and the spaces increase also. So you get, so now I don't want this just be limited to the icons themselves. I want it to actually affect this frame so they can actually scale by themselves to the right or to the left. So just depending on this on the icons they have. And for me to do that, I have to make it automatic. Okay, instead of me having to manually input the values by myself. Okay. So right now they are fixed to the values of this what's it called now? Horizontal padding and then the vertical padding. So and let me break that down. So horizontal padding is the space between the space inside a element towards the right or to the left. Okay. So the space between this icon to the left right now is 20. And to the right also is 20. You can make it 10, 20, you can make it 2, 20. You get, but that's what horizontal padding is. Same thing for the vertical padding. Okay. The space at the top and the space below inside that element. Okay. So now I want them to do it by themselves automatically in regard to this particular frame that they are constrained into. Right now you have frames inside frame. Sure you get, so it might sound a bit complicated, but just take it after me, okay? Just you can watch the entire thing and then get what I'm talking about. So for me to do that, I would change this value from org contents to fill container. Okay, so the orging the content will be based on what is here right now. But filling the container will be in respect to this particular frame. So once I press fill container right now, you see the difference. Now it begins to take up the space, that extra space that these guys are they're not willing to take. It begins to take that space. Okay, so but I have to do that for all these other guys also. So I press these icons also, change it from org. So this horizontal resizing, change from org content to fill container. Also you can see it also begins to come more proportional to this other one. I have to do that for the third one as well, from all content to fill container. Okay, don't worry, as you progress inside Figma, it becomes more clear what auto layout is about. Okay, probably I even dedicate another video to explain what auto layout is about. Now good. So the space between them is going to be about 17, sorry 16 I mean, and that's about it. That's the I'm going to be fixing. So let's say I want to, let's imagine that, okay, why I'm doing this is because there might be a case where you designed something like this and you want to delete one. You don't want to manually input the values again or to manually cram the values. You can just delete it by itself. It will adjust. So let's say I want to delete icon 3 right now. Press icon 3, press delete. You can see by themselves they adjust. Alright, so that means I can easily switch between the icons. So even if I delete another one by itself to fill up. So that's the only sense of this complex process. It helps you to make your work faster and easier. You get. So let's just bring in those guys. I don't even need to bring them in. I'll just duplicate right now. Ctrl C, V. Sorry, that's bad. Alright. So when I have 4, I have 5. To just keep constraining by themselves. Okay. So that's the beauty of auto layouts. I just need 3 of them. Good. So I just change the icon right now, and then we're done. So for this, I'll be changing this to that should be Facebook. Yeah. So Facebook. That's the wrong one. Okay. So this will be 24. Then I don't need this one. Yeah. So for this, we'll be having a full icon. Then change the size to 24 as well. Then I delete the other one. Good. So we have that already. So now we have our icon set already. Perfect. Now So the last thing I want to add is just this text down here. So I just copy this, okay, bring it down here. Very simple. I just type. That's easy for you to do. So the thing I did that was different from what you might have done before is okay, good. Is that I change the color of this. So it's very easy for you to do. So after typing a text, I want to change the color, right? Just double click this way, and then I want to change this to another color. So right now the field is the same color as this. I'll probably say I want to change to green. Just click on the field, come to green, then I change to green. Okay, see, very simple. So that's what I did. So that's not complex. So that's about it for that. Let me remove that. Same color. Yeah, so that's about that for screen 2. So actually we're done already with screen 2. Very simple, right? Good. So we'll be getting to the third screen in the next video. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.